welcome to Clappia. In this video, we'll see how to use Clappia MCP to build a QR-based attendance tracker app. This app setup can be perfect for businesses where employees scan a QR code to mark their attendance. Instead of manually adding fields, logic, configurations in Clappia, you can simply give a prompt to an AI like Claude, ChatGPT, etc., and it'll automatically create the entire app for you inside Clappia. With Clappia MCP, you don't have to build every part of the app step by step. You describe what you want and the AI sets it up, complete with fields, logic, connections between apps, and so on. You can then refine it later directly in Clappia or ask the AI to make changes for you. If you haven't yet set up MCP, I've already made a separate tutorial on that. The link is in the description box. That video will show you how to connect Claude or any other AI to your Clappia workplace. For this demo, I'll be using Claude, but you can try with another LLM that supports MCP. Now, let's see how to build the app. I'll open Claude Desktop. And over here, I'll give it a prompt like create a QR-based attendance tracker app. Here, I gave it a little bit of details so it knows what I need. The more details you give it, the better. I'm asking it to create the attendance tracker. It should be linked to an employee MIS so that it displays the details of the person marking their attendance automatically. I've also asked it to allow the employees to be able to check in and out, and the employee should be able to scan the employee ID. Once it's scanned, it should automatically pull up their relevant details. Now over here, I have asked it to create an attendance tracker app for this email ID. Make sure you include the email ID that's linked to your Clappia workplace. Otherwise, the app won't be displayed in your workplace for you. Once I hit enter, Claude will start creating the apps. It is finished creating the apps, and it has also provided me a summary of all the fields that it has added to the apps. Now I'll head over to my Clappia workplace. And as you can see, two apps have been created, the QR attendance tracker and the employee master. Let's start with the employee master app. I asked for this app to be created so that the employee details get pulled to the actual attendance app. There are other ways of displaying information, but this was the easiest method. This app stores all the employee details such as the employee ID, name, department, and other basic information. Now let's go to Design app. Here you can add more sections, you can add more fields, you can reorder them, include additional employee information as needed, or even set up the right-hand panel for every field. You can also submit employee information by making a submission individually over here in the app home, or by going to the Submissions tab and simply bulk uploading all of the details by clicking on this option, whatever works for you. And if you already have a similar employee master app in your workplace, you don't need Claude to create a new one. You can simply give the app ID of your existing employee master app in your prompt, and Claude will reference it instead of creating a duplicate. You can get the app ID over here from the URL, or you can go to the Design app and on the right-hand panel, just copy this and paste it in Claude. Now I'll make a quick submission here in App Home to add an employee record, and then we'll move to the main attendance app. For the department field, you can see Claude has added all the options. You can change the setup in Design app. I'll make the submission, and it has captured it in the Submissions tab. Okay, now let's open the QR-based attendance tracker app. This is the app that Claude just created, and it directly opens the code scanner block to scan the QR code. You can see all the relevant fields that Claude has added to this app, such as the code scanner block to scan the QR code, the attendance type, date, time, as well as a GPS location block to capture the exact location. I will also not be able to change the date and time, which prevents the user from marking incorrect attendance. So let's test it out. I'll scan a QR code. It has captured the employee ID that was embedded in the QR code. Now, as I said earlier, based on the QR code that was scanned, it should automatically pull up the employee's information. But since that is not given over here, let me just go over to Design app quickly. I'll open the QR code field. And on the right panel, you can see it's already configured. Even the advanced settings are set up, where it fetches employee information from the employee master app, and these were the fields that it was supposed to pull. So since that is not shown over here in the app, I'll just simply resave this and the fields automatically appear. The AI gives a good starting point for the overall solutions and sets the flow for the apps so that you can get started or edit the apps. So let me go back to App Home, scan the QR code, and it automatically pulls the information of the employee from the employee master app. This was the submission of the employee that I made earlier to that app. As I mentioned earlier, you can always make changes to your app manually here in Clappia, like I just did, by resaving this block, or you can ask Claude to do it for you directly. Let me take an example of that. Suppose I want to prevent duplicate entries for check-in and check-out, because sometimes people can forget and mark it more than once. So I need to apply some conditions or validations to prevent multiple entries for the same day, for the same employee. And instead of setting that up manually here, I'll ask Claude to do it for me. I'll go back to Claude Desktop and type in a prompt like edit the attendance tracker app to prevent duplicate check-in and check-out for the same employee for the same day. Now, as I mentioned, you can provide the app ID so that Claude knows which app it needs to edit. Because just by saying attendance tracker app, if I have referenced multiple apps here in the chat session, then it is always good to be on the safer side to provide the app ID. So I'll just go back to the workplace, copy the app ID, and paste it over here. It's not always necessary to provide the app ID, especially if you're working on one application in the chat session, but better to be safe. And just a side note, if you're referencing any fields to be edited from the app, you will have to make sure to give the fields variable names, which you can find in the design app at the top of every field in brackets. Make sure to paste it as it is in curly braces. Alright, so now I'll just click on enter. Okay, so it says it has made the changes, so let's have a look. I'll just refresh this page, open up the section, and you can see a validation block has been added to prevent duplicate entries, complete with the right panel setup. So let me just test this out. I'll go to App Home and scan the same QR code. As usual, it pulls up the employee's information from the Employee Master app. I'll select the attendance type as check-in, and I'll submit this. Now let me make another submission. Scanning the same QR code. Again, the attendance type as check-in. Now when I click on submit, it says duplicate entry and I'm unable to check in twice. However, if I change the attendance type to checkout, I should be able to make the submission. Another checkout, and it should prevent me, like so. So it shows you the duplicate entry message as well, exactly as configured. And that's it. That's how you create a QR-based attendance tracker app using MCP. You can modify it further as per your needs, for example by adding workflows for sending automatic notifications, generating charts, or integrating it with other apps. This app will also be available on the Clappia mobile app. So employees can simply scan their QR codes using their phones to mark attendance instantly. If you haven't downloaded the Clappia mobile app yet, you can do so from the Play Store or App Store. The moment you sign in, all your apps will appear there, live and ready to use. And that's how quickly you can go from an idea to a fully functional app, all with just a few prompts using Clappia MCP. If you have any questions while trying this out or need help with other features in Clappia, you can raise a support request by clicking on the button over here at the top. Select this option. Our AI support is trained on all of Clappia's material to give you a tailored solution, or contact our solutions and support team and we'll get in touch. Thank you.